Hey y'all, quick little notice before the video starts. This is going to be part one of, I don't know how many, of a little series I'm going to be doing of building a small block Chevy 302 for my Trans Am. Hopefully by the time that this thing is actually built and running, will be an 8,000 RPM revving engine, solid roller lifter cam. Like the original 302, it's going to have forged internals, and yeah, I'm super excited about building this engine. I'm looking to have about 11.5 to 1 compression ratio. So it's going to be a fun little engine to build, but it's going to take time to do it. So I'm not going to be making videos back to back on building this engine. However, over time, I will be releasing more videos on it. So thank you so much. Enjoy the video. Howdy y'all, welcome back to Brand Murphy Garage. Today we're going to be doing electrolysis on my engine block that you may have seen me talk about in a couple of my past videos. I'll go a little bit more over this thing. It is a 1969 casting. It's a 6618 block, so it's a 1 year only casting. It's a 4-bolt main. It came out of a 69 C10, and if you decode the front plate here, it'll show that it was a 255 horsepower 4-barrel 350. This casting could have been used for a 350, a 327, or 302. What I am planning to do with it is actually make it into a 302. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to scrub the block down. I already have some degreaser on it, get it cleaned up, and then we're going to bring it back into the garage here, set it down in well, my garbage can, and we're going to try to do some electrolysis on it probably over the next 48 hours and see just how well we can get this block cleaned up. So let me do that, and we'll see you here in a second. All right, we got the engine block back here in the garbage can. It's filling up with water. I've already added our laundry soda in here. So now we just gotta wait for this to fill up past the top of the block, and we can connect our battery charger. For those of you wondering what we're doing here, it's called electrolysis. I'm simply going to be using just some ready materials around me, such as a plastic garbage can, water from my hose, a $4 box of Arm & Hammer washing soda, and a battery charger. And essentially what we're going to be doing is pulling the rust off of the engine block. And this is really all you need. Well, that and plus some sacrificial steel, which I already have in the garbage can. It's kind of a small piece, so if that doesn't work out, I have an old exhaust manifold I can throw in there. But I like this one because it reaches the bottom of the tank and it sits up pretty high. And here's where my anode to connect the engine block is going to be. So we'll see how the first few hours go with this, how much it's pulling off with that piece of rebar. If it's not enough, we'll go ahead, we'll throw an exhaust manifold in there and start pulling more. So yeah, once the thing's filled up, I'll throw the peepers on that for you guys, and I'll show you how to connect this up, and we'll see how well it does. All right, I just got done turning the battery charger off. This is after about 24 hours. Now, I did actually go ahead and pull this around the 5-hour mark because it was disgusting. The water was. So I went ahead, dumped the water, put the new water in, and that's how it's been sitting for like the past 18, 19 hours. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pull my anodes out and scrape the top of this junk off, and then we'll hook the hoist up to it and pull it out and take a peek. All right, so this is after the first 24 hours. I've done a little bit more scrubbing and stuff, just trying to get as much out of there as possible. So it's flash rushing a little bit because I didn't get to it in time, but I'm going to plop it back in for probably another 12 or 24 anyways, just because I really want to make sure I bake all of this stuff off. I took a little more time, tried to get more paint off of here, and it's mostly off now, so we're just going to let her go again and see how it looks here in another 12 to 24. So, yep. All right, so here's the final product. Sorry I didn't film as much in the electrolysis process. I had a lot going on while I was doing this, but after I pulled it out for the final time, I went ahead and a little bit of primer, engine primer on the block. This is the high temp stuff, just to keep the outside from flash rusting. I have a good amount of WD-40 in here. But the block cleaned up pretty good. Still a little gross up top here. That's more or less on me. I should have cleaned the block a little bit more, but I was also very interested to see how much of the crap it would pull off. And it got most of it, honestly, so now I just gotta come in here and start cleaning the rest out at some point. I'm not gonna do it right now, but eventually. I also went ahead and ball honed the cylinders. Now, I didn't do that to try to clean the cylinders up to make this thing run. I really only did just to get a good look at how bad the cylinders actually are. This one's actually okay. It's not horrible, but it's not great. This one, less than great. There's not a lot of bad pitting. That would clean up a 30 over. See, cylinder number 5 here. This is one of the cylinders that wasn't locked up when I tore this thing apart. I only had 2 cylinders where the piston rings weren't rusted to the walls. And now let me tell you, this thing was locked up tighter than a nun's chastity belt. All right. And then number 7. Not horrible, not great. Definitely needs a cleanup. Now, my problem cylinders. Cylinder number 2. It's seen better days, but there's no real bad, like, pitting in there that can't be cleaned up. Cylinder number 4, it's not great, but it's not bad. We'll come back to cylinder 6. And then cylinder 8. This was the other one that wasn't locked up. So, cylinder 6 is going to be my problem cylinder. I don't know how well you can see down in there, but there is a decent size piece of the cylinder wall that's rusted out, and my fingernail catches on it. I don't know if that's going to be able to be saved or not with a 30 over. This is still a standard bore engine, mind you. 4-inch pistons was in here. They weren't 30 over, anything like that, and I mic'd the cylinders to check, and yes, they are still 4 inches. Now, if they've been egged or whatever, who knows, but we're gonna have to see. The other thing that kind of shows proof that these pistons aren't 30 over as well. One, there's no 030 stamped onto this. The pistons are still stamped with the correct cylinder that they were supposed to be in. I don't see very many aftermarket pistons look like that, like over-the-counter aftermarket pistons like Keith Black's or something. And then let's see if I can find it. Maybe it's over here on this side. There's still GM. Oh, you know what? It might be easier if I set this down. There's still a stamping, a GM stamping right there. Right there. Into the side of these things. So, I'm going to go ahead and say that these are standard bore pistons. Also, when you mic them, they're 4 inches. I noticed that stuff when the GM stamping, when I was gently easing these things out of the engine block. I was not gentle. These things were stuck in there. I even let them soak in ATF and Marvel Mystery Oil for about a week. No movement. So they got a hammer taken to them, and these pistons, well, the pistons, I would never reuse these anyways, but a few of the rods got a little messed up because it basically destroyed my dead blow when I was trying to softly beat them out, so I had to resort to the old iron hammer to get them out. Oh well, shit happens. But anyways, that's final product here, and I'm really excited about this. I'm a little worried about this. If it has to be sleeved, well, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. If this has to be sleeved, I may not end up using this block, because you kind of have to ask yourself, when is it going to be too much, you know? And if we have to start throwing a sleeve in this, it might be a little more than what I'm wanting to actually spend on the block. I can go out and buy another 350 block, dirt cheap. That's probably in way better condition. But as I said before, this is a 6618 block. That casting's a little messed up, but yeah, 6, 6, 1, and 8. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. It would really mean a lot to me, and I'd be super appreciative if you give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you think cylinder 6 can be saved. I don't know if I'm hopeful or not. I'm about 50-50. And you know, if you're not doing it, why don't you go ahead and shoot me a follow. Got a lot of fun stuff going on here. A lot of stuff going on with the Trans Am build. Got 9-bolt coming in for that. Super pumped. So yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one.